He never thought asking for help would put his dignity and his future on the line. A young black man, cornered by a system that seemed designed against him, gathered the courage to approach one of the most powerful men in the city, a billionaire who could change everything with a single word. But what he received wasn't just an answer. It was a revelation that shattered more than his hope. It revealed a truth most people aren't ready to face. What did the billionaire say that left him broken, and why does it matter for all of us? It was just another day in Marcus's life, or so he thought. At 22, he carried the weight of big dreams on young shoulders. A college student with a quiet determination, he spent his mornings in class, afternoons at work, and evenings helping his mom around their small apartment. She worked double shifts, her hands tired, but her smile always there when he walked through the door. For Marcus, everything he did, the studying, the late nights, the sacrifices, was for her. That evening felt no different. He zipped up his worn backpack, slipped in his earbuds, and started the familiar walk home. The same cracked sidewalks, the same flickering street lamps guiding his steps. He hummed along to his playlist, trying to shake off the exhaustion of the day. On the surface, it was routine, ordinary, predictable. But the truth is, some nights carry shadows you can't see until it's too late. As Marcus turned onto a quieter street, the air seemed heavier, the silence louder. A car slowed in the distance, headlights catching the edge of his silhouette. He didn't notice. Not yet. Because for Marcus, what began as an ordinary walk would soon unravel into a night that tested everything: his dignity, his courage, and his very place in the world. Marcus felt the evening air turn heavy as he cut through the narrow street he'd walked 100 times before. But tonight, something was different. A black SUV rolled slowly behind him, its tinted windows reflecting the glow of the street lamps. At first, he tried to brush it off. Just another car, he told himself. But the vehicle didn't pass. It lingered, watching. His heart quickened. He pulled his hoodie tighter, trying to disappear into the shadows. Then came the voice, sharp, commanding, impossible to ignore. "Hey you, stop right there." Marcus froze. Every story he'd ever heard, every headline he'd ever read, crashed into his mind at once. He turned slowly, his hands instinctively raised. A man in a tailored suit stepped out. Not a police officer, not someone from the neighborhood. This was someone out of Marcus's world entirely. The billionaire. The man Marcus had hoped, prayed, might one day listen to voices like his. But his tone wasn't kind. It was cold. "What are you doing here?" Marcus swallowed hard. "Just heading home, sir." His voice wavered, but he tried to steady it. I go to school here. I live 2 blocks away." The billionaire's eyes narrowed, scanning Marcus as though his very presence was suspicious. "Funny," he said, circling slowly, "because men like you don't usually walk these streets unless they're looking for trouble." Marcus's chest tightened. He wanted to defend himself, to say that he worked harder than anyone, that his record was clean, that his only crime was existing in skin the world too often judged. But the words stuck in his throat. The billionaire's driver stepped closer, looming like a shadow. "Should we call the police?" he muttered. Marcus felt his knees weaken. One phone call, one wrong move, and his life could be over. He tried again, desperate now. "Please, I just needed help. A scholarship, a chance to prove myself. That's all I wanted." His words tumbled out, raw and trembling. For a moment, silence hung heavy in tea. The billionaire's voice cut like a blade. "Boys like you don't belong here. You think the world owes you something? It doesn't. And if you're not careful, it'll take everything from you." Marcus felt his stomach drop. His hands trembled in the cold night air, but he kept them raised, every instinct screaming, "Don't move, don't breathe wrong, don't give them a reason." The driver stepped closer, his hand hovering near his phone. One call. That's all it would take. And Marcus knew exactly how it would end. Flashing lights, guns drawn, his name swallowed into another statistic. "Please," Marcus whispered, his voice cracking. "I'm not asking for a handout. Just a chance. That's all." The billionaire tilted his head, studying him like a puzzle. Then, with a mocking smile, he leaned in. "You think you're different? You're not. And the world won't save you. Not tonight. Not ever. The words hit harder than any fist. Marcus's throat tightened, tears stinging his eyes, but he refused to let them fall. He thought of his mother, of all the nights she stayed awake working overtime so he could dream bigger. He thought of every story he'd read, every man who never made it home. And for the first time, the weight of it all threatened to crush him. A silence stretched, suffocating. Then, headlights appeared at the end of the street. Another car. Strangers watching. Phones lifted. Recording. The air shifted. The billionaire noticed it too, his smile faltering, his confidence cracking as the eyes of others bore down on the scene. For Marcus, that moment was everything. His fear didn't vanish, but it sharpened into something else. Resolve. Because he realized this wasn't just about him. This was about every person who had ever been silenced, doubted, or dismissed. The billionaire's gaze hardened one last time. Careful, boy. One wrong step, and you won't walk away. The words hung in the air like a sentence. Marcus's chest heaved, his future hanging by a thread. And in that froze. Marcus walked away that night, but not untouched. The billionaire didn't call the police, not with cameras watching, not with eyes holding him accountable. But the damage had already been done. Those words, that look, the way his existence was treated like a crime, it cut deeper than any scar. He made it home, but home didn't feel the same. Safety felt like an illusion. For days, Marcus replayed the moment in his head. The way his voice cracked when he pleaded. The chill in the billionaire's smile. The driver's hand hovering, ready to end his future with one call. He realized then that no matter how hard he worked, how much he dreamed, he would always carry a weight others didn't see. But his story isn't just his. It's the story of countless others who've been followed, questioned, doubted, or dismissed simply for the color of their skin. It's a reality that stretches far beyond one street, one night, one billionaire. And it forces us to ask, how many voices go unheard because fear silences them before they can speak? Yet, Marcus also carried something else out of that night, resolve. He refused to let his dignity be stolen. He spoke about his experience, and in doing so, gave others the courage to share theirs. His pain became a mirror for a truth this world still struggles to face. Racism isn't always a headline. Sometimes it's the quiet humiliation, the whispered doubt, the stolen chance. So the question is not just what happened to Marcus. The real question is, what happens next? Do we look away, or do we finally listen? Because his story isn't just his story. It's ours, and the time for change is long overdue.